Welcome to Insider's Playbook from Senior Tennis Unpacked. This series is all about bringing you insider strategies and practical tips from coaches, fitness experts, and players in the game, so we can all keep raising our level no matter our age. I'm your host, Mike Rogers, a senior tennis player, myself chasing my own improvement while competing in leagues and tournaments. And today I'm very excited to have Ben Wolfe, a coach who takes a holistic approach to player development, focusing not on just on strokes but on fitness, injury prevention, and long-term resilience. He's worked with juniors, adults, and senior players through Wolfe Tennis Performance and his Winning Edge program, and is designed to keep athletes competing at a high level for as long as possible. And in this episode, Ben shares the exercises and routines that can keep you strong, mobile, and match ready for years to come. Ben, thank you for being on the pod today.
I love what you're doing, Mike. Happy to be here.
Well, last time we talked about things that we can do on court before we're ready for a match. And so I wanted to take this a step further and see what we might be able to do off court and what suggestions you might have for us.
Yeah, that's a good question. And I think it has to be very clear that we're talking about more senior players, right? Because
Yes.
my training program for someone that's younger would be much different. Because I look at this, you ever back in the day playing like video games, like I'm going to age myself a little bit, like Double Dragon, and you're fighting and then your energy keeps going down every time you get hit, right?
Right.
I imagine that when I'm on the tennis court where I only have so much of my joints to use before it become a problem.
Right.
So my whole idea here is if we are really pushing ourselves on the court, that's a big if you are, then we want to use the gym to make sure we make tennis more of our workout.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. I used to have this different. So a side note is I used to do, oh my gosh, CrossFit, and then I'd go play tennis, and then I would go run. I would do all this crazy stuff all the time, and I would get shockingly hurt, right? And because my body could only do so much. And I always looked at tennis as just tennis, and then all my workout stuff as getting fit and like the actual workout. The whole mind change came after some injuries in my 30s, and now I'm in my 40s, where I am now looking at tennis as my workout and my gym sessions as an ability to make my workout as good as possible, meaning I can move well, I can hit the ball hard, I can run, I can cover it all, right? So if I do too much in the gym, right? If I do too much in the gym as an older age person, I can't do as much on the court. Right. And this is different when you're young and you recover faster, but recovery is a little different as you get older. Right.
Right.
Okay. So I want to make sure that was a big premise that we cover before I kind of go over the routine. So you kind of understand where my mindset is. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And that actually brings up a good question too, because, I had this mindset, I need to work out, do strength training Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and cardio Tuesday, Thursday. But you like to play matches and I'm on the court 3-4 days a week at least.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm doing too much.
Well, let's maybe not. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's different, but I would say this for cardio: rowing machine and bike. Don't run, because you're already pounding in the knees and all that, right? So I feel like if you're doing something like that, and then like I have a sauna in my gym. I built a gym for people to come work with me, but also mainly for me, to be honest. So, I'll go on the bike, get in the sauna. Both are really good for cardio, right? I'm not doing anything with my joints when I'm sitting in the sauna, but the studies all show sauna is good for you, for the heart and everything. So that's just an example of how you can do cardio without adding more wear and tear to your body. I love the rowing machine too, because we're using the opposite movement. We're emphasizing glutes and hamstrings for the leg part of the pull, but then like you're pulling your upper body. What are we doing in tennis? We're pushing. We're always pushing. So pulling is the opposite movement of tennis, which I love people doing. And then you get a workout, you're working those muscles too. So helps with posture, helps with a lot of things. You can even use if you're engaging your stomach, even better, right? So we got the cardio thing covered, right? Like you can do it, but just maybe don't run much. And if you do run, I know this sounds a little odd, but I would sprint. Because if I've seen this so many times. Players, especially when they're really good athletes when they're young and they get older, they don't like sprint other than on the court. And then they haven't sprinted for maybe a week or two. And then they go for a ball and their body's like, whoa, 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 what's going on? We can't do this anymore. And you pull something because the muscle isn't strong enough to handle that movement.
Right.
So sprinting allows the body to stay strong and be able to do that movement on the tennis court. So a lot of players will, when I'm playing, they're always astounded by how well I can cover the court. Well, that's because I'm going outside and sprinting once a week on a hill, because I love hills because less, you don't have to do as much.
Right.
And it's just getting your body to move fast and going, oh, okay, this is normal. Right.
Well, in senior tennis, I mean, you're going to be chasing a lot of drop shots, so you
I'm
better be
sure,
able to
right?
move up and back.
Yeah, and we don't want to get hurt. That's like, I
Right.
want to make this clear that we're doing this not to get hurt. It's not like you
Right.
you lose, plus you lose speed faster than you lose strength as you get older. So this allows you to kind of maintain it a little more, right? I mean, I'm watching, I live by a park and I'll do sprint intervals. I see everyone else running and they don't look fast to me. You know, like they're just jogging and jogging.
Right.
I mean, that's not gonna, I mean, that's good if that's mentally for you, I get it. But if you're a tennis player, how is that helping other than more wear and tear on your body? Like double dragging, your energy's going down and down, like meaning the joints, like that's what I'm looking at, right? So we need to be smart about what we're doing off the court so that we can play tennis for as long as we can. Because and you're talking to a guy that ran marathons. I mean, I wore a 20-pound vest running a 20 or a half marathon before. I've done something called a burpee mile. You don't want to go into that.
I can just
It's
imagine.
crazy, right? Like that stuff is stupid for as you get older too, right? Like, so I'm trying to be smart with my training and I want the viewers here to think of it like that. So we got cardio figured out.
Yep.
Now, if you're in the gym, real simple here. We're not going to be doing, I wouldn't recommend doing a lot of lunging or back or squats if you're going to be doing a lot of that on the court. I actually like people doing, yeah, I know it sounds weird. If you want to do once a week strength training, great. You know, if you want to do, I think once a week is fine, you know, where you can do put some weight on and do some maybe front squats or if you're feeling strong, back squats. You got to be careful with back squats for a lot of reasons, you know, because if you do too much, you start bending down and you hurt your back, right? But like weights are great for resistance. I'm just thinking though that we can strengthen those muscles without wearing out the joints as much, right? So if you're going to do lunging and squats once a week, great. But the main thing I like people doing is doing a glute bridges, like hamstring curls, like we're isolating muscles and strengthening them without doing a complex movement that we'll do on the tennis court. So it's really similar actually to if you tore your MCL and you went and got surgery and you go to the PT. What does your PT do? They do all these exercises that I'm actually asking you like to do. So if you ever really want to like get stronger and faster, yeah, you're going to have to do some resistance training, like squats and lunges are really good, and some lightweight upper body, because tennis players don't need to be super strong upper body, just, you know, relax. But the main idea here is do the training that like you just tore your knee and then you'll never tear your knee. Like that's the whole idea. So the whole idea is you're strengthening your glutes, your hamstrings, right? And then you're also like isolating even calf raises, right? Because now the calves can get a little stronger without having to do like a long run, right? A lot easier on the body. So I'm always looking for ways to put less wear and tear on the body. Now, if you're like, well, I want more, okay, so I can give you more. If
I like as little as possible, honestly.
Yeah. So that's the idea. So you just want to do training like you tore something in your shoulder, you tore something in your knee, and you just do rehab for it, even though you don't have a torn shoulder or a torn knee. You do that, and now you won't hurt it because it's strengthening all the muscles that keep the shoulder healthy and the knee healthy. That's the main idea here that I like to do. Now, if you want to add resistance training a little bit more for health reasons and things like that, great. I would recommend something like a hex squat. It's a hex bar. So it's 6-sided. If you've seen a hex bar, you stand in the middle of it and the weight is no longer on compressing your spine because it's not on your back. It's
Okay.
on the side. You're holding it with your arms, with your hands. So then it's less pressure on your back and it's easier on your whole body, but you're also able to do it with like you're actually able to add resistance. So that one I really like because now we're not compressing the back, we're not compromising the body in any way. It's really hard to get hurt with a hex squat. So that's a really good one I like. And I
Is
also
that
like,
something they have at most gyms, or?
yeah, you'll see it on the side. You can look it up, but you can load it as heavy as you want too, which is great. So it's still an ability where you can make it heavy, right? And the
Okay.
other, like if you're at, I'm talking about stuff where there's no machine. If you're at a machine, you could do leg presses, hamstring curls. Those are really good. But the idea is like when you don't have that hex squat bar, I love free weights because you have to work on balance then, how many
Right.
times are you really standing on your sitting down and pushing out, like a leg press? How many times do you
Right.
do that in a sport, right? So I like to mimic that a little more of like, okay, I'm squatting, right? That's good. But the other thing I would suggest then is like you're holding dumbbells and doing lunges in that position, like reverse lunges. I love more than forward lunges because it's a lot easier to maintain good position with your knee and your body posture so you
Okay.
don't get hurt. Because a lot of players that go forward with their lunge kind of compromise the knee because the knee kind of goes forward. Everything kind of doesn't feel so good. You're kind of leaning forward, your back's kind of used. But if you go reverse lunge, it's way better posture. So hex squats,
Good.
reverse lunges are great for the lower body. And then we're looking stomach exercises. I always like to add them no matter if I'm doing knee strengthening, if I'm doing like shoulder, strengthening, I'm still going to add a stomach exercise in that routine to keep the
Something like a
stomach.
plank, or?
Yeah, playing. So, well, let's talk about that real quick too. If you're in season playing a lot of tennis, we're going to do stuff that are isometric, meaning we're not moving and we're holding resistance to keep movement from happening.
Okay.
Okay. So that we can imagine that you're in a lunge position and there's a band to the side of you. You're going to pull it in front of you and hold that position where the band is in front of you, right?
Right. Right.
And then it's trying to pull that way, but you're holding
Yeah.
it. That is called isometric holds. So you do
Right.
that when you're
Okay.
doing a lot of tennis because you don't want to do a lot of rotating in the gym when you're rotating in
Oh,
the court.
okay.
So that, and like you said, I like to do planks on a ball because you put
Uh-huh.
your forearms on a medicine ball or like a balance ball, and that
Balance.
makes it a lot harder. You can do some circles, and that will really strengthen your stomach without having to do the twisting that you do in the tennis court, right?
Right. Right.
Now, if you're
Okay.
off season, then you'll start doing some more rotational exercises.
Wait,
Like,
when
well,
you're my age, there is no off season. You
right.
play all the time.
Yeah. So if there is that, and then
In
exactly.
California, so.
Exactly. So that's only for players that are like, I'm doing like a month off, maybe once a
Oh,
week hitting. And like my winter, Colorado, like I will do more twisting, Roman twists, lunging twists, things like that when I'm not on the court rotating so much, right?
okay.
So
Okay.
that's the difference too, right? So when you are in season, you're doing less in the gym and more focusing on less lunging, squatting, movement, because you're doing all that on the court. And then when you're not on the court as much, that's where you can start adding a little bit more, more weights and more sets and reps in those positions, right?
Right.
So
Right.
that's kind of where you got to be. Like that's where you can still maintain strength and enjoy tennis, but it's a fine line. More tennis, less in the gym, less tennis. Now you can do a little more in the gym, right?
Right.
They
Okay.
kind of go, you don't want to do this though, or even this, because
Right.
then you'll lose strength, you'll get hurt. Okay.
No, it makes a lot of sense, and it's better to have that kind of balance. I like that a lot better, and I don't feel the gym is a burden if I do that, because now I feel like, oh, I gotta go to the gym because I gotta work, and especially like you said, doing some isometric. I mean, that's so easy. I don't even have to go to the gym to do some of those things.
Yeah. You try to create a workout regimen that you can't say no to.
Right.
So start with that. So if it's 5
Okay.
push-ups, then do 5 push-ups.
Right.
If it's 10 squats, then just do 10 air squats. Start with something. and then build your way up. A lot of people will go, I'm all in, I'm going to buy this, buy that, buy this, buy this. And then they go and then they stop after a week, right?
Right.
You
Right.
need to start with something you can't say no to, and
Okay.
then you can build from there. But that's really important. Otherwise, people get really unmotivated. The other thing is, now that you pointed to this, Mike, when you see the reasoning behind the gym, now it's like, oh yeah, I don't want to get hurt, or I want to get faster. Oh, I want to feel better on the court. Who doesn't want to play better tennis? So the
Right.
gym is now your ticket to playing better tennis. It's not a
Right.
burden. Now it's like allowing you to be like, oh, if I really want to improve, yeah, I need more reps, but how do I get my body to play at that level, that I want? So now it's like, oh, now there's a connection. And to me, that's way more motivating. Even like today, I worked out this morning and I'm like, not feeling it, but I did it because I'm thinking about tomorrow, thinking about when I'm going to go play with some high level players. I'm like, I can't not be ready for that. Right.
Right. Right.
So that's kind of what I want to emphasize.
And it sounds like you're not spending 45 minutes to an hour in the gym either.
Nope, don't need to. You can even put a little shot clock. I like to put a little timer on there and give like, okay, 20 minutes done, or 30, whatever you have.
Right.
Then there's a sense of urgency because you see the time. And then
Right.
you're not like kind of going on your phone or like finding reasons to stop and kind of chill. You're like, okay, I have 20 minutes. I got to get as much as I can in 20 minutes, right? Now you
Right.
have that sense of urgency to get it done. Then in 20 minutes, you're like, awesome. I just had my mom come in, do a workout, not feeling great. And she's like, the first set was kind of rough. And she's like, oh, I'm feeling better. I'm like, yeah, you got to get through that first 5 minutes or so. And then your body's like, I like this.
Right.
You know?
Cool. Well, that's very doable. Very
Exactly.
doable.
Can't say
Thank you
no,
for
right?
sharing that. And I'm sure, some people would love to learn a little bit more, especially if you have some programs for us senior players. So what's the
Yeah.
best way they can get involved or
Yeah.
get a hold
Thanks,
of you?
Mike. I don't know if you guys have Instagram or Facebook, but you can follow me at Wolfe Tennis Performance. Otherwise, just go on my website, wolftennisperformance.com. You'll see a free workshop, some paid workshops, ability to connect with me and just see if I'm a good fit for you. But I think it's just a different mindset, as you can see, that tennis isn't just hitting tennis balls, right?
Right.
You might need a little more than that. And that's why I'm here.
And we'll hit better balls,
Yeah,
hopefully.
exactly. There you go.
Well, thank you, Ben. It was great having you on today, and look forward to talking again soon.
Thanks, Mike. Always a
Bye-bye.
pleasure.